Hey guys, Asking Conzo 36 here, and today I'm doing a commentary on The Last of Us. Today I'll be playing the multiplayer component of the game. Personally, I quite enjoy the multiplayer. Not a lot of people do. I don't think they see it as anything groundbreaking, and it really didn't have to be groundbreaking to be good, because the single player was so good. Despite the technical glitches and the AI, the buggy AI and the infinite ammo on enemies. But I think The Last of Us multiplayers, it's not perfect, but it's technically brilliant. I love the way they implemented the online, the single player gameplay features into the multiplayer, such as crafting and sneaking, and also listen mode. I think they balanced the game. I think they balanced the multiplayer well, although sometimes it can get a bit annoying when I don't know how to put it. It can get annoying at times. Because when basically The Last of Us multiplayer requires teamwork. It's a game that you need teamwork to play it. Otherwise, you're basically fucked. I was playing The Last of Us the other day with some guys. I've been playing it for about a week now. I was playing it with some guys, and basically every time one of us got downed, there was this one guy on our team that would just stand there. Literally, he was standing right next to me. And he literally just stood there and started shooting. He wasn't even shooting at anything. He was just standing in the window. And then some guy came in and shot him about 5 minutes later. But yeah, Last of Us is teamwork dominant. It's not if you're a run and gunner, don't expect to be killing people left, right, and centre. I love the fact you can take on situations in the multiplayer. You can take on situations the same ways you do in single player. You have all sorts of options. You can sneak. You can also plant the bombs, or you can throw smoke. You can distract the enemy. But yeah, I find Molotovs are really effective in the multiplayer. Although, take for granted, I kept throwing them at myself when I was killing the enemy. As probably shown, I think it's shown in this multiplayer clip, because this is recorded after the gameplay, because I didn't have my mic on that time. But to be honest, I thought The Last of Us, the single player, on a whole, it was an amazing experience. Definitely one of the better experiences of this generation. Yes, it is bugged. It is ruined by glitches and mediocre AI. It's just the fact that I think it's the fact everyone gets annoyed of it because Ellie does not get spotted, or any of the other AI. They can run out in clear sight and not get spotted, but you can make a little or the slightest noise and the enemy notice you. And then obviously the infinite ammo and everything. But yeah, the multiplayer, you can upgrade your weapons, and on the multiplayer you can upgrade your weapons and stuff with points that you earn. I think they're called parts, and you can unlock cool stuff. Basically, I think you have to survive for 12 weeks, but you can unlock gear for having getting a certain amount of survivors. Basically, survivors are earned by it's at the start of the game. You can do like these challenges. You get these challenges every so often, like get 3 downs, and then I think 3 downs is the average, and then I think it's the highest is 19. And then there's all sorts of challenges, but basically you get survivors for them, but you have to maintain a certain on the game it'll tell you like 0 out of 34. I don't know what they are, but basically you have to keep reaching them things, otherwise your survivors get sick or hungry. And then you can lose your survivors as well if you don't complete the challenges. You can lose like 20% of your survivors. And then I think I'm on week 8 now. I had to get them. I couldn't gain survivors when I did the challenge. I had to get a certain amount, otherwise I would lose 20%. I think it was 60% first, then 40, then 20. Sadly, I lost 40% of my survivors, and then went from 81, I think it was, to about 35. No, it wasn't about 35. It was about 55 something, around 55. But yeah, it's quite a challenge. I think when you get to week 12, you can. I think you get to week 12, you get the option to change your character, or change your faction. But but you can get all sorts. You can get all sorts of unlocks for your characters. Like you get headgear. I think it's get to week 12, survive to week 12 with 85 population, and you get, I don't know what, it's a skull mask. It's pretty cool. That's why I want to get it, but it's going to be quite a challenge because I think someone I was playing with was on week 11. I wasn't talking to them, but they were on the headset, and they were on week 11. They had one of them 60% challenges where you lose 60% of the population if you don't reach a certain thing. But it was pretty fucking. The Last of Us multiplayer is pretty fucking good. It can be a bit annoying at times because there's only a certain variation of map, and some people, well, there are maps people actually absolutely despise, so it gets a bit repetitive because you're playing on the same 3 maps over and over again. High School is a decent map, but it's one of the less popular maps in the game. But I've got the season pass, so there should be some multiplayer DLC heading our way in the future. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the single player because they're bringing out an expansion pack. It's not technically adding onto the story. It's more, I think it's to do with the other characters. It's nothing to do with the ending. But yeah, the ending was quite interesting in the game. I haven't found the secret recording, but apparently that changes the whole perspective of the ending. But I think it's pretty cool because I know the recent days, the Last of Us developers have been asked about. No, Naughty Dog have been asked about. They've been asked about if there will be a sequel, and they said it's a possibility, but they don't technically want to go back into Ellie's and Joel's story. They might change, like they might go to different characters. I don't know, but yeah, the whole character development with Joel and Ellie was pretty awesome. To be honest, there's not really a lot to say about the multiplayer apart from you get like points. Like I think I'm on 3,000 now. They're quite well. Basically, the points that you get from the survivors, like the points I said about the survivor thing, they add up towards weapons, and you unlock weapons when you get to a certain point. So I think the bow is 3,300. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm looking forward to getting the bow because it's a silent weapon. I always get taken out by it. But yeah, the maps. If we're speaking about the maps are pretty well laid out. It's not too forced combat. You have all sorts of options you can take on. There are obviously health packs lying around the floor. There's like boxes. I think there's about 6 boxes scattered around the whole map, which hold crafting items for you to craft and stuff. But personally, I think The Last of Us multiplayer it's not exactly perfect, but it's decent enough to justify it being on the game, because The Last of Us, to be honest, really doesn't need a multiplayer component in the game, because the single player is pretty awesome, but The Last of Us multiplayer, yeah, it's a decent standard. It's a decent standard to be in the game. I know some of you will say it sucks or something like that, but it's really not that bad, to be honest, once you get used to it. So yeah, I don't know how long this commentary is gonna be, but I think I'm on 9 minutes now. I'm really looking forward. People are comparing it to BioShock, and people are saying BioShock was a better game. Personally, BioShock was a great game, BioShock Infinite. But BioShock 1 was a better game. I think it was BioShock 1 probably better than Infinite. Yes, BioShock Infinite's a good game, but comparing it to The Last of Us, I'd probably say The Last of Us takes it just for the game of the year at the moment. But who knows? GTA 5 could surprise us. The new Batman, I think it comes out this year, but that could also be a contender for game of the year. Obviously, with PS4 and Xbox One releasing later this year, a few of their games, I think Killzone's a launch title, that could take game of the year depending on how good it is. I don't know. I don't know the exact Xbox One titles, release titles, but yeah, they could surprise us too. I'm not exactly sure about the Xbox One. Personally, I'm getting the PS4 first, because that looks the most promising. Obviously, Microsoft fucked us over And it was a surprise, honestly, a surprise to see Dom Matrick leave. But it should be a interesting. It should be an interesting topic. See which console really does win the console war over the next few years. Honestly, I think the PlayStation launch titles look better than the Xbox One. But anyway, yeah. Speaking about The Last of Us really does. I don't know how to explain it. It really tops off. It really tops off a great. Well, basically, well, no. All right. Put it this way: the PS4, PS3 didn't have a really successful launch. But over the years, Metal Gear Solid 4, that was probably one of the best games of this generation, easily. And The Last of Us really defines this generation for Sony. PS3 has gone out with a bang. It's gone out with a great game. And yes, Beyond Two Souls is coming, but The Last of Us is honestly probably one of the best games I've played this generation, and it's a really, let's just say, good game for Naughty Dog. They're a great developer, obviously. We all know that from Crash Bandicoot and the Uncharted series. But yeah, Sony have a great developer, and I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the PlayStation 4. But yeah, anyway, that's it, guys, for today. The Last of Us multiplayer components definitely worth playing if you haven't checked it out already. Obviously, it's better. If you haven't checked out The Last of Us at all, you definitely need to play a single player because it is truly a remarkable experience. Bye, guys.